Joe Kleen, Southern Hospitality, February 14th, 1990, 141. As Joe stepped within arm's reach, Sarah accepted his offered zipline tether but did not attach it. Rather, she stood between him and the line and asked, "Were you planning to try and catch your wife on this zipline?" "Planning or hoping?" Joe asked with a grin. "Much more of a hope than a plan. I mean, your space is out for a reason." "That is correct, Joe," Sarah replies in no-nonsense tones. "And let me make it perfectly clear that despite my display of seemingly inappropriate gymnastics at the bottom of line 2, you must not be anywhere near your wife nor anyone else as you approach the landing platform. What I did was part of the show, and you're not qualified to act a clown. If you do, you will not continue with the tour. Is that clear?" she asked, no trace of humor in her voice. Joe smiles and nods, answering, "It is," adding, "Thank you for making it so, number one," in a Jean-Luc Picard imitation. "Joe, I am completely serious. Don't do it," she reiterates, tilting her head down and looking at him from the tops of her eyes. "Roger Wilco," Joe acknowledges, nodding his head. "Message received. Don't let my glib, happy-go-lucky fool you. I'm on board with safety." "Good," Sarah says, hooking his tether to the zip line. "I want you to have fun, but not endanger either self or other. Clear?" "Clear," Joe says, stepping to the platform slope. "Good," Sarah says with a nod, continuing her taut ship demeanor. "All right, then," she continues in tone reflective of her role as entertainer and guide. "What are you waiting for? Go, Joe, go!" Joe nods, bows, and steps off the platform singing Don McLean's "Helter-skelter in a summer swelter, the birds flew off with a fallout shelter. 8 miles high and falling fast, extending fast," as he ziplined in pursuit of his wife. The higher elevation of Line 3 brought rockier conditions and less vegetative cover along the zipline's path. Joe alternated his view between the expanse of horizon that was made visible by elevation, the trail below as his eyes searched for Kelsey, and the zip line in front of him as he descended after his wife. In his quest for speed, he assumed the most horizontal position available, with legs thrust out behind him as opposed to a hanging position, but the effort required to maintain a Superman in flight attitude quickly convinced him that the muscles required for greatest aerodynamic efficiency was effort his muscles were either unwilling or unable to provide for any extended period, which convinced him that bringing knees to belly and curling up in a tighter ball as he chased Misty and scanned for Kelsey was his best compromise between speed and comfort. Joe was uncertain whether a dot on the line in front of him was Misty or a figment of his imagination, but he was certain that the landing platform at the end of Line 3 was now visible. "Well," he thought, "guess Sarah's safety lecture was unnecessary because there's no way I'm going to catch her," at the same time that his eyes looked downward as he rushed over Kelsey, her arms waving as she stood and watched Joe zip by. "Kelsey!" he hollered at the top of his lungs, wondering if Kelsey's perceived pitch would change perceptibly by the flu shift of his acceleration away from his sister-in-law.